I mean, there's two answers to that question. How you so amazing, dude. I appreciate that, by the way. Thank you. One, I've been doing this for a very long time. I have been writing music since 1997, 1998. Um, on and off. I haven't been doing it as consistently. Over the past 6 or 7 years, I started taking it very, very seriously, and it's kind of where I've come from there. And like honestly, doing the 2 hour track challenge every week, something that I do. 1998, yeah. Hey Husk. So doing the 2 hour track challenge every week for the past like 6 years, 5 6 years, this has been what makes me like the artist that I am. Like, when did I start it? Yeah, January 20th, 2016 is when I started doing the 2 hour track challenge. And like these initial songs, they weren't great. Some of them I really liked. But the fact that I sat down and I invested 2 to 3 hours every week just to learn something, to try something, to um, just work to be a little better at one thing that I'm doing. It's like really valuable, and it's just time. The second thing that's really important um, is tools. And like I like Arcus, and I mean I'm just messing with this, but I like this because it sounds great. I mean I've been messing with Massive forever, and I know how to use Massive. And just like understanding the tools that you have is just another really amazing way to um, to be able to kind of bridge that connection between what you see or what you hear in your mind and what you actually put out onto the page or in the project. It's so easy to have ideas but not know how to execute them. And if you know how to do, or if you know what you want to do but not how to do it, that's a lack of understanding for your tools. Like you need to know what to do or what tool to use in order to do that. And when I say tool, I'm talking about like operator or contact, or the sample libraries that you have, or like all of the knobs and dials that affect all of this stuff. um, because it's really easy to have those ideas, and that's what a lot of people say. It's like ideas are cheap, anybody can have ideas, but actually following through and executing on that idea and realizing something out of it, that's the hard part, because you have to understand your tools, you have to understand your process, and like bridging that gap between having an idea and making it real is really the struggle as an artist. And I think that uh, it just takes time. It takes time and dedication to learn all of that stuff, because otherwise you're either having ideas and have no way to express them, or you have all of these tools and all this knowledge and you're not like investing the time mentally to have ideas that resonate with you. And that's something that I talked about with the 2 hour track challenge in the past, where it's just like doing that every week for me is like going to the gym. It's me putting in my reps. It's me understanding that this is how things work, learning how to do new things, trying new things out. But mostly it's just sitting down and putting in the work and just keeping my tools sharp, keeping my mind sharp for all of this. Because when I do want to sit down and make 14 songs in a weekend, like I'm doing now, it's just something that I can sit down and do. And yeah, it'll probably wipe me out a little bit for the rest of today and a little bit for the next week. But this is like running a marathon. Like you have to train for that. It's not something you can just sit down and do. I think I answered your question. But seriously, if you have like follow up questions to that, feel free to ask. I'm happy to help. I hear you, Sushi. I think that it's important to understand both sides of that dichotomy. Oh yeah, Husk. There's so much, um, and this is something that I suggest to people who want to learn one side or the other. Like, if you want to learn your tools, work on recreating or remixing songs. And if you want to learn the creative process, don't do that while learning new tools. Like, I feel that there's two very, very different spheres of knowledge with these, and it's very hard to learn both at the same time. It's so difficult to pick up an instrument you've never used before and also make something completely new and interesting with it. Um, it's so much easier if you um, learn one thing or the other, and then you can pick up the other thing later. Because actually, I'm going to do it like this. I recommend this a lot with the FamiTracker series, where it's just like, if you want to learn how to use FamiTracker, find songs that you love. Go find Metroid songs or Mario songs or whatever, and then recreate them note for note, because those notes will already be there. Like, you basically just you go like this. You open up a blank FamiTracker project, you put it over here, you open up, whatever, you put it over here, and then you put those notes in manually throughout the whole thing. And what you're doing there is you're building muscle memory in not only understanding what those notes do, but you're understanding the tools, and you're not engaging the creative side of your brain while you're doing this. All you're doing is building muscle memory for understanding how those tools work.
Remember to save.
Hey everybody, remember to save. And I think that it's so vital to understand that the putting in code from a magazine. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a lot like that, where you're basically you're not worried about how am I going to make this lead good? How am I going to like turn this chord progression around so it goes back to the main loop? You're just worried about understanding how the tools work. And once you learn the tools, then you don't have to think about that as you make your lead, as you make the chord progression. Like, you either learn your tools or you learn how to be creative within those tools, but learning both at the same time is just a recipe for disaster.